Hello, this is Ari Waldman. Sorry I was interrupted. This is part 2 of my video Mishnah, keritot. I'm going to do 12 minutes, let the clock run. I'm going to be practicing pausing. I'm a person who stutters. It is Wednesday, December 16th, 2020, the first day of the Jewish month of Tevet. Here goes. Keritot 9a. The Breita continues, if so, why not derive similarly, just as you entered the covenant with a burnt offering and a peace offering, so too they must enter the covenant with a burnt offering and a peace offering. How is it derived that a convert may fulfill his obligation with a single burnt offering from an animal? The Breita answers that the verse states, as you are, so shall the stranger be before the land, before the Lord. Numbers 15:15. This serves to emphasize, I compared him to you in order to derive that just like you. He too must bring types of offerings whose blood is sprinkled on the altar, but I did not extend this comparison to another matter, i.e. to insist that his offerings must be identical to all of your offerings. Rabbi Omer, kachem kavotechem, ma avotechem lo nichnasu, librit ela b'mila ut vila, v'haratzat dam af heim lo yechansu, librit ela b'mila tevila, Ratzat damim. The Breita continues. Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi says the offering of a convert is derived from the verse, as you are, so shall the stranger be. Numbers 15:15, which means as your ancestors were, just as your ancestors entered the covenant only through circumcision and immersion in a ritual bath and sprinkling of blood on the altar, so too they may enter the covenant only through circumcision and immersion and the sprinkling of some blood, which requires at least a burnt offering. Lahavi prida achat, Amar Rabbi Eliezer, shalo mitziuno, B'chol haTorah kula lo amru kan ela lahakel alav. The Breita adds, and it is impossible to bring only one young bird as an offering, as we have not found an offering of a single bird anywhere in the entire Torah. Consequently, if the requirement of the sprinkling of blood is fulfilled with a bird offering, the convert must bring at least 2 birds. By contrast, if he chooses, he may bring a single animal as a burnt offering, because a bird nest was stated in the Torah only in order to be lenient for him. V'lo v'hatanya v'yikra aleph hey v'yikrivu ma talmud lomar lefi shene'amar beturim v'yikra aleph hey, v'hakriv shomea ani haomer hare alai olat haof lo yefichot mishne peridin tamid lomar v'krivu afilu perida achat chova miha lo ashkachan. The Gemara challenges Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi's statement, and it is true that we have not found an offering of an individual bird anywhere in the Torah. But isn't it taught in a Breita? The verse states, with regard to a bird sacrificed as a burnt offering, and the priests shall sacrifice it, Leviticus 1:15. Why must the verse state this? Since it is stated about doves, and he shall sacrifice his offering of doves, Leviticus 1:14. In the plural, I must derive from here that one who says it is incumbent upon me to bring a bird as a burnt offering shall not bring less than 2 young birds. Therefore the verse states, and the priest shall sacrifice it. Leviticus 1:15. In the singular, to teach that one may bring a gift offering of even one single young bird, the Gemara responds, in any event, we have not found an obligatory offering just one bird. V'ha'echa yoledet demate ben Yona o tur lechatat mishum de'echa kava ish bahada. The Gemara challenges this assertion as well. But isn't there the offering of a woman after childbirth who brings a single pigeon or dove as a sin offering, Leviticus 12:6? The Gemara answers, this is not difficult, because in that case, there is a lamb which with it as part of her offerings. The bird is not brought as a complete offering by itself. Amar mai mar ma avotechem lo nichnasu lebrit ella kule bishlomo mila dichtiv Yoshua hey ki molim hayu kol ha'am hayotzim I nami mehacha Yechezkel tetzayin vav ve'evor elecha ve'erach mitvuseset vidamecha ve'omer lach vidmayich chai v'gomer. The Gemara returns to the main part of Rabbi Yehuda Nasi's statement. The Master said, just as your ancestors entered the covenant only through circumcision, immersion in a ritual bath, and the sprinkling of blood, converts must do the same. The Gemara objects. Granted, they underwent circumcision prior to entering the covenant, as it is written, for all the nation that left Egypt was circumcised, Joshua 5:5. Alternatively, may be derived from here a verse describing the redemption from Egypt. And when I passed by you and saw you wallowing in your blood, I said unto you, in your blood life, and I said unto you, in your blood life, Ezekiel 16:6. The sages interpret the double mention of blood in this verse as referring to the blood of the Paschal offering and the blood of circumcision. Haratziat damim tidichtiv shmot kavdalid hey vayishlach et nari b'nei Yisrael ella tvila min nalan dichtiv shmot kavdalid vav vayikach Moshe chatzei hadam v'yizrak al ha'am v'ein hazot below Tevila. The Gemara continues, and granted as well, they entered the covenant through the sprinkling of blood, as it is written. And he sent the young men of the children of Israel, and they sacrificed burnt offerings, and they sacrificed peace offerings. Exodus 24:5. The Gemara asks, but from where do we derive that immersion in a ritual bath was also part of the process of entering the covenant? The Gemara answers, as it is written, and Moses took half the blood and sprinkled it on the people, Exodus 24:6-8, and there is no sprinkling of sacrificial blood without immersion. Ella mata ha'idana Lecha karban lo nikabel Gerim Amar Rav Eicha Bar Yaakov Bamidbar Tedvav Yudchet Bichi Yagur Etchem Ger Asher Beto Chechem Vigomer. The Gemara objects, if that is so, that these three rituals are required by Torah, law, for a convert to enter the congregation. Then now, in our time, when there are no offerings, we now should have the ability to accept converts. In response, Rav Aha Bar Yaakov says that the verse says, "And if a stranger sojourn with you, or whoever may be among you, throughout your generations," Numbers 15:14, this teaches that converts may be accepted throughout the generations, even when there is no temple, and sacrificial offerings are therefore impossible. Tanu Rabbanan, ger bizman hazet sarich shiyufarish rova likinu. Amar Rabbi Shimon, kvar nimna alav Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai ubetela mipnei hatkala. Amar Rabbi Ide bar Gershom. Amar Rabbi Rav Ida bar Ahava halacha Rav Shimon. Rabbi Shimon. Rav Shimon. With regard to the offerings of a convert, the sages taught in a Braita, a convert in the present time is required to set aside a quarter of a dinar for his bird's nest. But when the temple is rebuilt, he can purchase the offering with this money. Rabbi Shimon says, Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai already assembled a panel of sages who voted and nullified this ordinance due to a potential mishap. If one would inadvertently use such money, he would be liable for the misuse of consecrated property. Rav Idi bar Gershom says, Rav Ada bar Ahava says, the halacha is accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Shimon, who says that the convert should not set aside money for the purchase of offerings. This is the end of my video, mesechet keritot, day 4. Have a great day.